Well, shooters and reloaders out there, if you're ever thinking about having a taco party, and of course that means tamales too, well, here's a expert chef on the fixings of tacos and tamales for a party. This is Juan here, so Juan's going to tell you about what the ingredients are here. What are you doing right there?
So right now I'm toasting some pumpkin seeds. They're shelled, so they have no shell on them. They're slightly green, so what we're going to do is we're going to toast them on a low heat on a griddle. We're also going to toast some sesame seeds. We're going to toast some cinnamon and some different kinds of chiles as well, some dried chiles. And this will be added to this other sauce that we're making that has tomatoes, onions, garlic, and green bell peppers.
Wow. Now, how long do you cook this?
You're gonna kick it until pretty much the tomatoes start falling apart. So this is the equivalent of making a pasta sauce that takes all day, or a mole sauce in Mexico that takes all day. So this is gonna be taking a long time for everything to come together.
Now, of course, for those who are lazy and don't care for the quality of the presentation in the party, you just buy it, right?
Yeah, you buy it, yes. Usually this type of tamale tends to be a little more expensive because it takes a very long time to make. It's an all-day process. We got to make masa in a little while, and that masa, you have to cook it, and it takes about 3 to 4 hours to cook.
Wow, okay. Nice having a gas range to do this, right?
Oh yeah, nice chef stove, big burners, so that you can definitely speed things up along. This is a beautiful setup, and I truly enjoy using it.
Well, we have a 1-inch gas line, so that's actually higher capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to add tomatillo. Now, this is a very funny tomato because what happens is it comes in a soft paper-like shell. You open it up, and they're tacky. Oh. So what you got to do is you got to rinse them and make sure that you get as much of that tackiness out. And this is going to go in the sauce as well. We want to buy this. Usually there's larger tomatillo. This one is a little too big. Ideally, this is as big as we want it to get. We want the smaller ones because they tend to be more flavorful, more on the tart side. And there we go.
Is that about a pound worth?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So we have 5 pounds of tomatoes, regular tomatoes, and a pound of tomatillos. So it's a 5-to-1 ratio. For the masa that we have, for every 5 pounds of corn masa, we want 1 pound of rice flour. So it's a 5-to-1 scale on a lot of things.
Okay.
So in this pot now you can see it's not quite there. You can see the tomatoes are still fairly whole, but some are starting to shrivel up. You can see the little tomatoes, the tomatillos, are changing color. They're actually starting to turn slightly yellowish. This is about halfway done. But as you can see, it's coming along fairly well. You can see the garlic, you can see the tomatoes, the tomatillos, the green bell peppers. The only thing you can't see is the onion, because that's kind of, oh, there's the onion back there. We're also, as you can see, we're toasting the cinnamon. You see the color of it? And this, because it's getting toasted and it's drying up, it is getting darker and darker. And this one is still has a ways to go. And this is still just the pumpkin seeds. We have to do the same thing with the sesame seeds.
They are definitely shriveling.
Yeah. So you see that the tomatoes are getting all wrinkly. Well, that's what we want them to do. We basically want them to become a sauce on their own. We're still going to blend it, but we want them to become a sauce on their own. The other thing that we did, we are toasting some bread. And the reason why we're toasting some bread is we're going to use that bread as a thickener for the sauce. So this is, again, this is for the sauce. Some of the seeds are toasted. We have also toasted some bread as a thickener. And the sauce is about 5 minutes away from being done. As you can see, the tomatoes are pretty much falling apart. That's exactly what we want. You can see the tomatillos are pretty much disintegrating.
Now let's discuss some of the seasonings that have been gathered together for this.
So there's different chiles. These are dry roasted smoked chilies. This is called pasilla de ancho, and it's the whole chile. So We're gonna toast this, and we gotta make sure that we take out the seeds. So that's the pasilla. This is a little, you know, more of the same. We're just gonna use a little more of it. And we also have guajillo. As you can see, the chiles are different in texture, in look. One is wrinkly and the other one is smooth.
Wow.
And the flavors are really different too. So we're gonna add all that together. We're also currently toasting some cinnamon sticks. We want them, right now they're a nice tan brown. We want them to be slightly low coffee color. So this is anato. This is what we call achote in Spanish. As you can see, there are a bunch of little balls, and they are a deep red, and you need very little of this to really add color and texture to what you are making. And when you are done and you grind down the anato and the chiles, you're gonna have a texture that looks like this.
Wow, that is a lot of work to make that little bit there.
Yeah, but this here will make a pot for about 20-25 tamales. So it'll make a fair amount of sauce. So these are the toasted pumpkin seeds, toasted cinnamon, still toasting some cinnamon, and now there's the toasted cinnamon. Now we're gonna toast some sesame seeds. So because there's a fine line between nicely toasted and nicely burnt. So here we are with the sesame seeds. They're toasted anywhere beyond this, and as you can see, some of them are actually starting to turn way too dark brown. And what happens is if you brown them too much, they turn bitter. It's just like coffee. The more you roast coffee, the more bitter it gets. Well, same thing starts happening here. So now this is pretty much where we need it to be. We are going to cover them, and we're going to mix it in with our cinnamon. And
So I would think a lot of timing on all those seeds is very critical. It's very easy to make a mistake and overdo it.
it is.
Would you say it's better to under?
It is better to do it under than do it over. As you can see, that's a nice golden brown. About 4 of these peppers, maybe 5, depending on how wide they are. So this one is a nice size. That one's a nice size. That one's a little underdeveloped. It's a third world chili. And we're gonna do it seeds and all. And the reason why we're gonna say, again, this is a seed-based sauce. So we definitely won't, no bueno, but what the hey. Go ahead and throw that in. This one's smell almost like grapes. Can you smell
They're
that?
gorgeous.
It's almost like raisins.
Yeah.
Almost like raisins. And this one's a little smokier. You want to go ahead and smell that? You smell that tangy smoke to it?
I like that one better.
Yeah, it's almost like liquid smoke.
Right.
Oftentimes what you'll find is people don't take the stem off up until
So these are called what again?
so let me show you the reason why it's called, in Spanish, raisins are called pasas. So this one is, they smell like yeah, they smell like grapes. And this one is guajillo. So this one is more, what's gonna add more of that
tangy smoke.
Tangy.
Too bad the viewers can't smell this. It just smells wonderful,
doesn't it? See the color there? That one's not quite toasted yet. This one should be done. That one is done. Hot. This one is done. Sometimes there's no tools that can take the place of a hand.
The thing is, you know those infrared thermometers? Would those be helpful here to take a temperature on those?
Yes and no. I mean, the temperature is going to rise and drop, but there's nothing like the smell.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing that, like the visual side of it. See this one, because it was a little drier, that one's done.
So are you feeling for the dryness?
Both the dryness and the color.
Uh-huh.
If the chiller was dry and this was not completely dry, then that would turn a lighter red / brownish.
But you
Now
can't
you have
tell.
a dilemma here because they're
No.
pretty black to begin with.
No.
So then you have to feel for the texture of it.
Kind of sounds like experience is a real important thing here.
Right.
So if someone were doing this for the first time, I mean, you're basically feeling for dryness.
In this one's, you're feeling for softness. So
Oh,
they're
soft.
opposites. The other one, you're feeling for dryness, and this one's you're feeling for softness. The thing about this is you have to constantly keep moving it. You leave them for too long, they're not going to roast, they're going to burn.
Yep.
And if they burn, again, no bueno for the sauce.
So it's the same idea with the masa. You'd be stirring that all the
Absolutely, you
time.
have to constantly, you have to be,
Because if you don't, the heat will concentrate, it'll burn.
absolutely. And, you know, the biggest problem that people have is oftentimes is attention. They don't pay attention, and when you don't pay attention, so that one is nice and soft, so that one is nice. Ready to go.
Well, you know, the Asian populations make juk, you know?
Uh-huh.
And you know about juk, right?
Yes.
It's the same thing. If
Uh-huh.
you don't stir it, it has a tendency to burn.
Very. And the space of like I said, nice roast and burn, it's 2
Not
seconds.
that big a difference.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
See, with the juk, when the heat gets on the bottom of the pot,
Uh-huh.
if you don't stir that off,
Yeah, it
it'll burn
sticks.
down there.
Yeah, it'll stick and it'll.
and it'll ruin the whole thing.
Yes, because the flavor is not
All
the
the
same.
dry ingredients go into
Cinnamon
the
too?
blender.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the cinnamon also. Looks like coffee. If I didn't know better, I think you were making vegetable juice.
Yeah.
We're blending up a storm. Now we're mixing the final amount of the vegetables and mixing in the bread. We're going to blend that together, and then it's going to go right into the sauce. This is what came out of the blender for all the vegetables. There's the blend with the bread going in. And that's added to all of the vegetable mixed from the dry seeds and dried chilies all go into the final blend, and that's going to be added to the entire mix.
So I'm gonna have to thicken this up.
What are you adding there?
So this is annatto. This gives it a
Deeper red. So this is the rest of the dry blend and some more bread. And there we go. For a little more color, a little more thickness. And some final seasoning to taste, and we cover it up and the sauce is done. So here's the sauce. Now more bread was added, and it was cooked with more bread added to get the proper thickness. And we tasted it. It's delicious.